Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Collie TV, and in today's video we're going to be going over Tech Genus. That's right, we are using the new cards from our boy Antimony, Bruno, if you watch the dub. This deck is pretty sick now. You will get absolutely dumpstered if you're playing into tier, etc. But it is a very functional deck. It has some sick lines, albeit that all lines lead to the same endpoint, but it is very, very cool how diverse we can get there. If you enjoyed this combo video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be able to put out a deck profile if that's something you guys are interested in, just to see what makes this deck function. And if you hang around to the very last combo, we'll be showing the Forbidden Guu of this deck. So without further ado, what we're going to be doing is just going through the combos, what they have to offer, and pretty much talking about the certain strengths of this deck. So I find this deck to be very much a level 1 toolbox type deck now. Yes, you use your Screw Serpent and whatnot still, but mostly this deck is built of 2-card combos, the odd 1-card combo, and a lot of our level 1s achieving essentially Calamity Lock. You don't always have to use it, but it's very powerful while it's on offer. We will continue to use it. This deck can make it freely, or it can do it with the Crimson Dragon. So keep that in mind. We actually have a very a broad range of tools that we can use to achieve this. And the cool part about this deck is we can set up the quick synchro on our opponent's turn, or we can commit on our turn. So our worst 1-card combo is going to end on a Baron on your opponent's turn. So that's pretty cool. But all right, so one cool thing about Cyber Magician is that it will sync from hand. When we play this card, hopefully our opponent wants to read it, because it's going to read it and see that its effect will be that it can sync from hand. If they Veiler, if they Impermanence, you can still do this condition. So we're going to sync straight out into our starter. Our TG Mighty Striker here, he's going to get his effect and search us another new card, All Clear. All Clear turns our monsters on field into Machine. It also gives us an extra normal summon. It also allows us to do this, which is pop our Mighty Striker and search for another card to keep extending. Mighty Striker is going to activate his effect because he was destroyed, and he's going to dunk the Tank Grub. This is important. You need to dump the Tank Grub. We need that token. Next up, with our extra normal summon, we're going to do Rocket Salamander things. This is another new card. This is why this deck is so good at the moment. It's going to pitch itself and let us special summon the Screw Serpent. Use Screw Serpent, it's going to bring the Salamander straight back out. He has a secondary effect that comes up, which is good, which is when we have a machine type monster. So either our Link 3 or having All Clear up means that we can special summon another TG from grave. So keep that in mind. We are going to sync these bad boys off into our TG over Dragner. This is a Dragon Synchro, and it says we're going to special summon as much TG fodder as we can from our grave. So here we are. We put the all 3 in defense mode. We're going to sync the Tank Grub with the Screw Serpent to make our TG Hyper Librarian and really start getting our card advantage going. Tank Grub is going to allow us to put a token onto the field, which is awesome, because for our next play, we're going to activate the Salamander using its effect to special summon that Screw Serpent, and we're going to go into another Sync 5. Alright, now we've got the Star Guardian, another oldie. What this is going to allow us to do is get a card back into our hand. We're going to chain the Hyper Librarian to get the draw. We're going to add the Screw Serpent to hand, and now TG Star Guardian has another effect, which is going to let us bring out another TG. That's right. So we're going to send off for another 5, which is our TG Wonder Magician. Why? Because we want to pop our All Clear and get another draw. Now, the reason why this is so nice is we're now not all machine types, which was an issue with the All Clear. Why that's good? Because on our opponent's turn, we're going to manually make the boy, sending the 3 away. We're going to summon a Calamity, chain 1 Calamity, chain 2 Hyper Librarian, chain 3 Striker. Striker is going to pitch anything. We're going to do the close, but you could pitch, literally anything with the draw. Game's not over. We still have our sync here. So we have a couple options. If our opponent's like, well, fuck this, and then sets a bunch, what we're able to do is activate this in the main. We are going to send the 2, go into a Satellite Warrior. You know what Satellite Warrior says? We're going to pop 4/5 and gain 5 counters on him, putting his attack through the absolute roof. This is OTK level on our next turn. So this is just showing off another option. We could have just went the Baron if we wanted the other Omni Negate. So if we saw our hand and we had plenty of gas, you could just go the Baron for safety. If they didn't set a lot and you want to have that security for the hand trap next turn. But yeah, if they've set a bunch, you just Satellite Warrior. Like if it's a lab player, goodbye. Combo number 2, double Salamander, which does happen. So we're going to go Salamander into the Screw Serpent. Screw Serpent activate its effect, bring back the Salamander. And we're going to go straight into the Dragna. Now we're putting the Dragna not up in the top. There is no reason to not have to do this, but I just chose to for this combo. So the reason we have the other Rocket Salamander in hand is preferably, doesn't really matter if we have the Salamander, but as long as we have, you know, Tank Grub or anything else, it will work out just fine. So if we have Tank Grub or Rocket Salamander as our second one, that's great because our Trident Launcher will let us go 1 from hand, 1 from grave, and 1 from deck. So as long as that Salamander gets on there at some point, because our Trident Launcher is a machine type. So it's supposed to be in defense mode, that's my bad. We're going to activate his effect, bring back the Screw Serpent, and we just kick off. So let's put our 2 into the Mighty. Mighty's effect. We're going to put the Tank Grub token on. We're going to get our Omni Negate, which is huge here. We're going to set the 2 off, make a Librarian. The Librarian was just for the 5. You can do any other 5, doesn't matter as long as it's not a tuner. We're going to go into our Glaive Blaster. Mighty Striker's effect activates. We're going to dump the Break Limiter. Break Limiter is going to let us banish himself and get our follow-up. And then we're going to put the 2G close down. So off essentially just 2 level 1s that didn't really synergize. You know, we've ended on an Omni Negate, a couple bounces. It's really, really nice. And we'll go on to the next combo. Combo number 3 is having a Break Limiter and a monster that you can special summon. So we're going to ditch one, grab the Salamander, grab the Raptor, which is pretty rad. So this gives us our 2 bodies. So we go Salamander, ditch the Raptor, hit the Screw Serpent, bring back the Raptor, and go into a Dragna. Dragna, activate his effects, bring the boys back out. We're going to link off into the Trident, and you know the drill. We're going to bring 1 from hand, 1 from grave, 1 from deck. Now we don't need the extra effect this time around because what we have in grave already is our Break Limiter. So we're going to put the Grub on board. You can continue extending if you go the All Clear, or we're going to go the Close here. We go off into the Star Guardian, grab the Rocket Salamander, special summon again, just keep extending. Because we have a machine on board, we bring out the Screw Serpent, put 2 off into the Dragna, and you know what that means. I didn't actually set it, but once again, we have the Calamity with the Omni Negate. And that is a beautiful, beautiful combo. Right, our next combo here is pretty much opening the nuts. So this is just our level 1 package being able to absolutely go off. The Screw, special summon with the gear by lowering the attack of the Salamander. Send the 2 boys off into the Mighty effect. We're going to get the All Clear. All Clear's effect, pop to grab a Warwolf, which is another special summonable. We put the Close on board, put the Tank Grub out, and we sink that off into the Dragna. Now we have absolute fuel for days. We're going to bring all the boys that we can out. I'm going to sink 2 off into the Hyper Librarian. We're going to put the Tank token on. We're going to sink the Tank token off into the Mighty Striker again. We're going to get the draw. Salamander's going to bring back the Serpent. I'm going to send the 2 boys off, get our Star Guardian, more drawing, more into hand. We're actually going wild with it. We'll be able to special summon thanks to the Guardian. So Warwolf did special summon himself out, but you don't have to. That we're going to use the example of Star Guardian doing special summoning. I'm going to send the boys off for another Power Gladiator. In terms of if we get to the deck list, you should just probably play another Dragnar. The warrior part, it's irrelevant, just play the 3 Dragnar. You just want a level 5 sync, essentially. So Hyper Librarian's going to let us draw again. We're going to put the Dragnar, the Striker, and the Gladiator into the glaive. Hyper Librarian's going to let us draw, and we're going to banish. Now the Glaive Blaster is going to activate, and the Close is going to activate because there was a monster that was banished. We're going to be able to set it directly to our field. The Glaive's going to bring back the Star Guardian. We're going to sync the 2 boys off into our Blade Blaster. And then what we're going to do is make a fair bit of plays on our opponent's turn. We drew so much off a Hyper Librarian. We play a suite of hand traps, which is great. We're going to activate the Blade Blaster in the draw phase to banish the Mighty Striker. And banish himself. This is going to activate the Glaive Blaster. It's going to bring back the Mighty Striker. And we're going to roll into the standby phase. Blade Blaster brings himself back. Into the main phase, we're going to activate our boy Mighty Striker. Go into the Crimson Dragon. Mighty Striker's effect's going to activate. Crimson Dragon's effect's going to activate. It's going to target the Glaive Blaster level 12 and then swap himself out for a Calamity. I'm going to dump the Break Limiter because it just lets us get another starter in our hand. And we have our close 4 Omni Negate Protection. So we are playing, turn skip turbo. Absolutely awesome. Yeah, if you enjoyed these, please be sure to, show some love to the video, and we'll do a deck profile. Can do some test hands and stuff as well. Now, I haven't forgotten, onto the Forbidden Guu. Yes, the Forbidden Guu. Normal summon, Savant Kepler. The insane thing about this deck is that you can play 1-for-1. And in my opinion, what's nicer than the Dear Bellstar is actually Small World. Because you're negging a card in hand. If it gets stopped like Dear Bellstar, yeah, you lose a body, but then what? And that is what I think is insane about this kind of being like a level 1 toolbox. I've seen people play, is it Jack in the Hand, whatnot, to get the level 1s rolling. Personally, I'm all in on Small World. Most of the hand traps are level 1. All of the TGs are level 1s. 1-for-1 is also an incredible card. Discard 1, put the Savant on. So Savant Kepler, he's going to activate the contract. He can activate the contract. Grab the Lamia. Lamia's going to discard. And then we're going to sync these 2 off. Banish the Lamia into the Mighty Striker. You've seen the combo. Mighty Striker just goes off. Absolute banger of a deck. It's so fun. Please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Don't let it flop. And on that note, if you can think of any other combos, please list them below. Like this deck has a million ways to get to the same point, and I fucking love it. Take it easy. Peace.